Hello and welcome back to the Tin Barn. I'm Pragmatic Lee, and in today's video we're going to do a little material prep. I've got a project coming up that I need 2 pieces of round aluminum stock, approximately 3 inches in diameter will be fine. Uh, I've got a couple of these discs, but they're only a 1/2 inch thick. I need some that's 1 inch thick by 3 inches round. And just like where I purchased these off of eBay, there's I could buy those discs, but I looked around and I found this piece of 3 inch by 6.5 inch by 1 inch thick flat bar that I've got. It doesn't have a machine. Well, I think it's got maybe one factory in right here. But what we're going to do in today's video is prep this piece for that upcoming project. I've done this kind of thing in the past here numerous times in the Tin Barn, but I'm not sure I've ever dedicated a video to this process. What we're going to do, first off, we're going to cut it in half. Well, cut out that 1/2 inch section in the middle. Make two 3-inch square blocks. We'll do that with the long shank slitting saw over on the mill. But then we're going to drill a couple holes through the center of each of the 2 blocks to mount them on this mandrel. And this is one that, again, that I've made for a previous project here in the Tin Barn. I've got several of these around that I've made. Here's one. There's one that's a little smaller. We've got some larger ones as well. But we'll mount this in the lathe, and we'll turn those square blocks into round blocks. So let's turn over to the mill now and get our piece of raw stock cut into 2 3-inch squares. Okay, I think I messed up recording the slitting saw operation, and actually turned the camera off when I thought I was turning it on. But in any case, that's not what this project is about. What it's about is turning these square blocks now into the round pieces we needed. I've marked off the center in both of the pieces, and I'm going to drill a 15/16 hole. That's what the arbor is, and of course we're going to step drill that. That was a 1/4 inch. Now we're going to go with a 1/2 inch. And now we're at 15/16. The final hole in these pieces will actually be approximately 1 5/8 inches, but I'm not sure exactly what that size will be until we get to that upcoming project. So today we're just going to stop at the arbor size here. I'm going to put the other piece in, do the same thing, and then we'll meet over at the lathe for the actual meat of this whole video. Alright, we're over here at the lathe now, and I'm going to mount the arbor in the drill chuck, in the lathe chuck. And I'm going to have to back my compound up on the cross slide a little bit. Alright, we'll slide both pieces on. And I think I'm going to turn them just a little bit, keep from having quite as much interrupted cut. Now we'll put the push block, washer, and nut on. And of course, there's several ways of holding workpieces in like this. I think you've probably seen me in previous videos with an actual arbor that I would put in and use super glue between the workpiece and this arbor, and then press the tailstock up against it. Could also use an expanding mandrel to go between centers with, of course, a lathe dog. But having two pieces to cut, I decided to just go this simple route right here and hold both pieces at one time. And I want to tighten that pretty good. Now this spacer block down here, and even the washer and nut or washer may look like it's running off center. That's simply because this spacer has about a 1/16 of clearance in over the arbor. I'm going to bring the tailstock up just to give a little extra added support over here on this end. And let's find about where the starting point is here. Alright, that's just touching on that corner. Let's bring it to this one. I just don't want any hard bumps to start with. Alright, that should be a pretty good start. So we're going to turn these until they're round. And I'm going to start with an 80 thousandths cut, which is 40 thousandths on each side, and see how that does. Of course, the deeper we get the cutting in here, the more surface that it'll be coming in contact with. Alright, I just put the chip guard up here again, so we're gonna go to town now and start cutting. Okay, I'm actually taking a 100 thousandths cut now. I stepped it up from the 80 to 100, and again that's 50 off of each side. And I can still hear the interruptions, so I know I'm not clean at all yet. So we'll keep going until I don't hear any interruptions or feel any interruptions in the vibration. I think probably after this cut I'll take one more 100 thousandths and then start stepping down the depth each time. That might be cleaning up now. I think there's maybe one facet that's that maybe isn't cleaning up yet, but we'll see after this pass. One, two, three. 3 facets on each one. All right, I'm only going to take 20, 40, 60 thousandths this time. The outside diameter of this is not extremely critical at all, but I do want it as big as I can get it out of these workpieces. All right, I got one more on each of the 2 pieces. I'm going to only come in 20 thousandths this time. When it starts pulling a long chip like that, that's a pretty good indication that you're going all the way around. And that cleaned up all the way around. What I'm going to do now is put a tool with just a 60-degree angle insert. We're going to chamfer these outside edges. Then I'll turn the pieces around on the arbor and get the other edges. I'm going to put a little heavier chamfer on those. And with this being a point on the end, I should be able to come right into this center. Plunge in and chamfer both pieces at one time here. That's a little bit warm on that end. Well, I tell you what, let's take it off the arbor before we take the arbor out. All right, we'll pull these 2 off, let them cool down just a little bit, and then we'll meet over at the workbench. Okay, so there you have a simple tutorial on how to turn some square stock into round stock using a simple arbor in the lathe. Chances are, if you've been in your shop very long, you've got several of these for different projects that you've done over the years. Hope you've enjoyed it. Stay tuned to the channel, and most likely in next week's video we'll put these pieces to use. Take care.